I am a masterpiece. Hey everyone, so Nikon have three new announcements. One of them was no surprise, it's been rumored everywhere. The other two are kind of non-events, but let's run through them. So first of all, Nikon has announced finally the D810, which is to replace the D800 and the D800E. Now, there's a dedicated page to it. Nikon Australia sent out this email with the links and everything. They're really pushing the fact that it's fully redesigned from the ground up. They're trying to separate it, I guess, from the D600 and D610, where that was basically just a stopgap to, cover their tracks about the oil issues that it was having. And they're trying to make this one, stand alone as being a brand new camera rather than a slightly tweaked D800. So it's got no low pass filter like the D800E, which is what I have, and I never really suffer with Moray or anything like that, so I don't think that's a big deal. It's still 36.3 megapixels. For all the downsides of for high resolution, the speed requirements, the amount of memory space you need, if they came up with an even higher res one, I would grab it. I love the high resolution. There's a couple of different little improvements. Let's run through them. And it's not what you might expect is what really interests me. So, taking a look, incomparable image quality, no low pass filter, sumptuous tonality. I haven't seen that kind of beautiful language in a press release. So, for me, the most interesting thing is the ISO range is 64 to 12,800, expandable down to 32. Now, it was 100 down to 50. Now, why is that useful? A lot of people are all hung up on high ISO. I've shared my feelings about that. I'll pop a link on screen to that video. But for whatever reason, almost all camera sensors actually do better below 100 or 200, whatever their base rated is. It's actually in that negative territory. And there's certainly times where when I'm shooting at 1.4 in the daylight, having an ISO of 100 or 50, it's not fast, it's not low enough to be able to get the shots that I want. The shutter speed wants to go beyond 8,000th of a second. So I'm actually really interested by that. The extra frame per second of burst rate, not really. It's got the new focus motor from the D4S. That could be a good thing. I don't know too many people who are really doing tracking with this sort of a camera though. Full HD in FX and DX, we can already do that, but it's got the 5060p, that's pretty cool. RAW size S, which is going to give you uncompressed 12-bit NEF RAW files, not 14-bit, 12-bit. On one hand, good to see they're finally doing it. On the other hand, Canon's been offering small, medium, and large RAW forever, so, what do you want, a cookie? You're finally catching up slightly. They're saying a new shutter mirror box architecture with electronic front curtain sync to ensure sharpest results. I'll have to see if that is the case. Certainly some people found that they couldn't shoot below 1/320th of a second to get sharp results with the D800 because of the high resolution. I personally didn't really find that, but with high resolution there are extra demands, so that could be a good thing. An anti-reflective screen, that's a good thing. I've still never seen one that's really great. If you're shooting in bright outdoor conditions, you need to use a loop. The D800 and the D4 were the best I'd seen in ages, but they still weren't great. And a split-screen zoom for live view. That could be really handy, especially for filming, or to get focus confirmation visually using manual focus lenses. The second announcement, a soft shutter release for the Nikon DF. Wow, let's just read this. Adoption of ebonite resin for the top surface of the AR11 allows users to enjoy a soft and light feel when pressing the shutter release button, if that's ever been a problem for you. Ebonite resin, often used in high-end fountain pens and the mouthpieces of wind instruments, I won't do the gesture for that one, creates a unique, rich texture that melds the finger over time. Look, I know there's some people who love attaching these kind of things. It's generally cashed up rangefinder users, but I think it's a total wank, and I love the DF. I understand why a lot of people hate it, but this is just the kind of crap that is going to make even more people hate it. I think it's a total poser move. If that's more than like 30 bucks, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But if you like to accessorize your things, people like to accessorize their cars, whatever, up to you. And they're releasing a Capture NXD, which is free to download. new version. For some people that'll be really handy, but still I really like using Lightroom personally. So 3 announcements. One saw it coming, the other one for fountain pen users, and the third one a free software. Here's where we are. It really makes me curious what's going to come for Photokina. There has to be big announcements in store for mid-September to be released October, November, December before Christmas. So I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you reckon Nikon are going to do for that later part of the year? Do you think there's rumors out there that Sony are bringing out like a 54 megapixel camera? Do you think that sensor is going to make its way to Nikon as well? Sony still make a lot of the Nikon sensors. And what about Canon and everyone else? Love to hear your thoughts. Leave me any questions or comments. Leave me your thoughts. I'll see you soon.